Yeah, well, these numbers are are probably low estimates. The information coming out of Myanmar is quite confused at the moment because mobile data is out of action largely. So we're still getting updates even of numbers from Sunday, which was the deadliest day. And very alarmingly, a doctor in one of the main hospitals in a township where there was a very major security force operation is now saying in one hospital alone, her hospital alone, 51 people have died either on Sunday or from their injuries. They're dealing with war zone type injuries of gunshots to unarmed protesters. These hospitals are not well supplied. These are public hospitals, and they're trying to save lives of people who've suffered terrible injuries. There have been further protests on the streets today, and there is no what is happening is that these protests are becoming kind of more localized, that in certain areas the sort of protesters are involved in a bit of hit and run type protests as the security forces move in, and the riot police backed with some army are firing fairly indiscriminately, and there is a lot of gunshots to the head and to the neck, indicating that they are deliberately targeting people. They're not just trying to fire in the air or clear people, and that this is a concerted attempt to get people off the streets. There's also a lot of fires being set. There's tires set fire to try and block the security forces. And there have been arson attacks on Chinese factories, Chinese invested factories, garment factories, because protesters are associating the Chinese with the junta and hence are taking revenge on Chinese investment. So it's a very messy situation. The military have declared martial law on top of staging the coups, and it's all bubbling up into a very, very ugly showdown.
And as a sign that things are rapidly deteriorating in Myanmar, the World Food Programme has just said that the current unrest is driving up food and fuel prices, risking pushing the country's most vulnerable people further into poverty.
Yeah, that's right. Now, part of the opposition movement is not just the numbers on the streets that we're talking about, but is the civil disobedience movement, which is basically mass strikes of government workers and increasingly of private sector workers. And the goal is to try and render the country ungovernable for the military, but it is having this immediate effect on prices in the markets. Rice and palm oil basics are going up. There's very little trade coming into and out of the country now. Up to 90% of the trade through the ports in Yangon, and that's the major way that imports and exports come into and out of the country, is not happening. The CDM believes, the opposition believe that the short-term pain of trying to bring the economy to its knees is actually a means to rebel and to oppose the junta. But certainly the World Food Programme is very alarmed that the poorest are facing soaring prices. And we've also seen a lot of the workers in this garment factory area where those factories have been set fire to. They're bailing out. They're trying to get back to hometowns in Myanmar as best they can. So the situation just across the board is just really, really increasingly serious. And there is a feeling on both sides that, be it the opposition and the resistance and the military, that things are reaching a crunch point.